Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, when Malala was made the UDA Secretary General, the first assignment that he started with was to stage a fight on Musalia Mudavadi and his ANC party and Moses Masika Wetangula. In fact, Malala went to an extent of threatening Musalia Mudavadi to either fold the ANC party for him to continue sitting in the cabinet. That you can't be sitting in a cabinet, yet you purport to be a party leader competing with the president party. Then Wetangula, for him to continue to serve, he was supposed to relinquish the Ford Kenya party. That means fold and be part of UDA. With that narrative, Ruto stopped Malala from pushing that kind of talk. So Malala stopped. It was just for about 2 weeks, and that kind of narrative stopped completely. Then they have been working, and to some extent even closely with the ANC SG and Ford Kenya SG. But then, with the new visit that Ruto made to Western region, we saw Malala with the Gachagwa, jogging, walking, running. Then after the visit, Malala again has launched another attack on ANC and Ford Kenya. He's asking Musalia and Wetangula to follow their party, because those are village parties, and join Ford UDA party. As simple as that. This narrative has continued to an extent. Now Malala went further to bring the former Kakamega governor Wangamati to meet William Ruto. He wanted to make it look like he's really working for Ruto to have people in Western. But I'm asking, of what value is it to bring Wangamati and lose Wetangula or Mudavadi? There's no value in that. But he's bringing it. But then the question is he working really for Ruto or for Gachagwa in this new fight? Is it benefiting Ruto, Gachagwa, or their opponent, Raila Odinga? That's the question. But then, with all this, by pushing and demeaning these two parties, finally, someone is responding to Malala, and it's also a message to Ruto, if you care to listen. And Didmus Barasa is making noise. Someone said, make noise. So Didmus Barasa is making noise. He's telling off Malala to stop demeaning other political parties that came together and help William Ruto to win election through perception, their votes, and the face of the country. Remember, when Ruto was alone, he was being viewed as just an individual who has lacked the face of Kenya. But when Wetangula and Mudavadi joined him, then other people like Kingi, they lifted William Ruto's face politically. He gained perception. They came with votes, because IBC has shown us that even with 200,000 votes on presidential election, it will make a big difference. Hata kama ni kuiba ama nini. And above all, I'm asking, what if Malala, Wetangula and Mudavadi were with Ruto, with Raila Odinga, and IBC go further to read the figures of their own rather than the people's figure? How would it be possible, Ruto, to be president today? I don't think if it was going to be that much easy. But this is the message from Didmus Barasa. Let me just, in fact, he posted on his Facebook page. He wrote and he put a video, meaning this one is much serious. This is what he's saying. Cleo Malala must respect other parties in the Kenya Kwanza coalition. Each party played a big role in making sure that His Excellency Dr. William Ruto has been elected and sworn in as the President and the Commander-in-Chief of all the armed forces. Elected and sworn in. Listen to Didmus Barasa.
Nyinyi mnajua mimi nilikuwa na rais wetu William Ruto kwa chama ya Jubilee, na wakati tulifukuzwa huko na Uhuru Kenyatta, pia mimi nikahama na yeye tukaenda kuunda chama ya UDA. Na kuna wakati tulikuwa tukitembea hii nchi tukitafuta kura, na alikuwa anatembea peke yake na sisi vijana yake ya mkono wale wadogo, mpaka wale marafiki zetu wa NASA wakaandika kwa magazeti kwamba William Ruto is isolated. Hiyo ndiyo ilifanya tukaamua kama chama, tukaanza kutafuta wale party leaders wa vyama vingine tofauti, ikiwemo chama ya Ford Kenya, ikiwemo ile ya ANC, ikiwemo ile ya PA, ikiwemo ile ya maendeleo chap, vyama yote hiyo. Na vile vyama hivi vyote viliungana na sisi, tukaunda muungano wa Kenya Kwanza. Ndiyo tukakuwa na nguvu na tukaunda serikali ambayo sasa hivi inaongozwa na rais wetu mpendwa William Samoei Ruto. So I can confirm that the small parties that Cleophas Malala was calling village parties, they brought two things to our coalition. One, they brought votes, and they also brought perception that Kenya Kwanza is going to win because of the likes of Right Honorable Dr. Moses Wetangula and our another leader from Vihiga, Mheshimiwa Prime Cabinet Secretary Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. So I want to say this very clear, that is very unfortunate for a person of Cleophas Malala to begin the disparages, the small parties that put us in power. Even the small people wale wa mamamboga ambaye hajulikani, even the village elders, we have to respect them. So we will not allow as a coalition that the members of our coalition, whether junior or senior, regardless of what they have drunk or smoked, to begin sowing seeds of discord. So I want you to ignore Cleophas Malala. Our President William Samoei Ruto appreciates each and everybody, hata kama ni mdogo kiasi gani. Hiyo kura yenu ndiyo ilifanya sisi tuko mahali tuko hivi sasa.
Now we are continuing with this panel discussion, but just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our channel subscribers, Samasha, thank you so much. And again to all viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, there could be two reasons or three that is making Didmus Barasa to come out and make this kind of noise. Of course, in one way or another, he's defending ANC and the Ford Kenya party. But above all, we know the person that Cleophas Malala took to State House to meet William Ruto is the main competitor of Didmus Barasa in the Bungoma politics. Didmus Barasa is positioning himself to become the next governor of Bungoma through Ford Kenya party. With time, he's going to cross to Ford Kenya. And it was evidently clear during the senatorial campaign in Bungoma. Now we have someone there who was elected when Didmus Barasa campaigned for him. He's in UDA, but he campaigned for Ford Kenya candidate. Yeah. With that one, then his main rivalry is the former governor, Wycliffe Wangamati. So he has to make noise because he was supporting Ruto and now he wants to get to an office. He knows the way to get to that office is by joining Ford Kenya party. Simple and clear. So with all this, now taking someone to State House whom he was decampaigning to support Ruto, it becomes a big problem. That's why it's making this noise. But again, above all, what he's saying is true. Ruto did not just become a president. Even with the IBC giving him the votes, it was not enough. He needed people in this country who carry the face of this country. For example, if you have Eugene in Azimio and Oparanya, of course, that brings in the face of Mulembe Nation. Raila has the vote, but he needs that face. Bila hiyo, atapata watu wengine wakimpinga kwa njia ambazo zitakuwa, it will be selling. So, for Ruto to have that face of Western, Didmus Barasa was not enough to give him that face. Neither any of those UDA people who are in, those members of parliament, they were not enough to give him that face. It only just happened when he had Mudavadi and Wetangula. Bila hawa watu hata nini ingempa hiyo kura, ingekuwa ni shida Ruto kuongoza saizi. That is the truth. So they made Ruto president, whether they gave him 100,000 votes or what. But again, in this whole fight, Malala is not working for Ruto. Malala is cleverly working for someone who has heavily paid him, Gachagwa. I don't know how far he will advance this noise or war on ANC and Ford Kenya. In as much he will bringing Wangamati to meet Ruto, ni kumfunika tu macho, ionekana ya kwamba I'm really working here to make sure that we have people in UDA party. Malala did not even help Ruto to win Kakamega votes, because even the person he was competing with, he gave him a thorough beating with a huge margin. If the margin was close, then we would say he brought something to Ruto. He did not. That means even it's not enough to pull numbers for Ruto. So fighting Wetangula and Mudavadi means fighting the vote that Ruto was supposed to get in Western. He will lose. Because the more you are divided and you launch a fight, you are giving a tropaz to Azimio, and they will have their way. Remember, Azimio is commanding numbers in Kakamega. Azimio is commanding numbers in Busia. You come to Vihiga, they are leading in devolution. The only place where Kenya Kwanza have numbers is in Bungoma. You go to Trans Nzoia, Azimio is leading devolution. That's Natembeya. So with all this fight, the more they will continue, the more they make Azimio more strong. So this war is for Gachagwa, but they are cleverly using some individual planted there to tell Ruto that we are working to make sure that we have everyone in our side. I don't know what value Wangamati will bring to Kenya Kwanza if he's competing with Didmus Barasa. There's no any value. Because also, it has been proved defeating Wetangula in Bungoma devolution politics is also a mountain for Ruto. It's not easy. Aliweka candidate ya usenator akashindwa by much far. So trying now, it will not work, but that means working for Azimio. So this war is good for Azimio, as Malala is fighting for Gachagwa, because fighting Mudavadi and Wetangula means strengthening Gachagwa. That's the war. This war has no any benefit to Ruto. It has all the benefit for Gachagwa and Azimio. I don't know your views, but that's what I can say about this. Thank you, and see you in our next video. But let us meet in the comment section to continue with this discussion.